Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Hi, Selena. Come on in. It's okay. You can hug everyone. Have you met Gandhi? Gandhi is the newest member of our show. This is Selena Gomez.
Hello. How are you? A hug from afar.
I know. I'll hug
We
everyone.
love hugs from afar.
Oh, man.
Thanks for coming back.
Of course.
I don't know where to start.
You smell incredible, by the way.
Are you sniffing our guests again?
Well, she hugged me. She smells so good.
See,
I don't know. It's all of them.
Here's what's kind of great about your employment. And did you just hit your funny bone?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the worst.
Let's start the resume. Let's start the interview off with pain. At least there's no bloodshed, so we're good.
I'm fine.
Here's the difference between what you do in your employment and what we do. We work for a company, so we have an HR department.
Right.
So we cannot really harass people. We got to be careful what dirty videos we send each other for Halloween.
Nice.
So this morning we have a filthy Halloween video circulated.
Yes.
And everyone so far is cool that no one's ready to sue anyone or call HR. But you can just send out a video to your friends and no one cares.
Wait, elaborate. What do you mean?
What I'm saying is what you do for a living is kind of fantastic.
Thank you.
Versus what we do for a living. Look, at the end of the day, you've got to make a living. You got to pay the bills. Got to pay the accountants.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we do the same thing, but at the same time, we work for this big iHeartRadio company.
Right.
It still is fun, but at the end of the day, it's working for a company.
Right.
So when I send out this video that I'm not going to show you, but
Wait, now I want to see it.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, it's kind of funny.
You ahead of time.
It's a Halloween video.
I take no responsibility in any of this.
It's a guy wearing a mask, right?
Okay.
You know what's going to happen here. And then all of a sudden, this is just for you.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay.
Oh my God, her face is priceless.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Selena, if you shared that with everyone, on the stage crew, would there be a problem? And they'd be like, "Oh, that's Selena."
No, because they've sent that stuff anywhere around my door. That was amazing. I need to send that to my grandma.
No.
Oh my God,
That's what keeps Grandma happy. So,
she'll laugh.
Are you like me? Halloween is just. Do you run away from Halloween?
I'm obsessed. I mean, horror films, scary movies, all of that.
When's the last time you dressed in costume, though?
Probably 8 years.
Well, that's a long time.
Because I go to the things, but I'm more I think I'm more scary. I'm into the horror vibes.
Right. See, Danielle starts celebrating Halloween in August.
Yeah, and I do 30 days of Halloween, so every day of October I wear something Halloween related.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's fun.
Show her the pictures of you and your husband over the weekend.
Oh, over the weekend.
She gets crazy.
What'd y'all do?
We were crazy. What were we?
Like killer pumpkins?
Yeah.
But look at the makeup.
Scarecrow pumpkins.
Look how great their makeup is.
Whoa,
it's fantastic.
Sick.
Yeah, our friend Dina with the pink hair did it.
I love that.
By the way, you have no flying appendages flying out of these videos like the other way.
That is disgusting.
I was fascinated by it. I was like, whoa.
All right, let's get to work. A little bit of disappointment here because these two songs, which are both fabulous, and they really tell great stories, and they're very relatable, especially Actually, both of them. Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now are just fantastic, both of them.
Thank you.
For different reasons and for the same reasons. The thing is, you've been interviewed by so many other people already.
Right.
It's like the headlines are out there. It's like, well...
What do I ask now?
I know. What's the clickbait, fam?
I mean,
Let's do it. Let's come up with it.
I will say this. The beautiful thing about Lose You to Love Me is the instructions are in the title. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just the most obviously best piece of advice you could give yourself or anyone else. And I will say, of course, you can talk about who it's for and who it's to and whatever, or not. Besides the point, this song isn't about them. It's about you. It really has nothing to do with anyone else but you.
Thank you for saying that.
Well, it's true. It isn't about a couple. It's about you.
100%.
It's you finding yourself.
Well, but the objective for me was actually to share my side of everything. Mm-hmm. I only work on the things and create things that make me feel something. That's the only way I'll get out something, but I'm not going to talk about it or, do all that stuff. I just more like I needed this, and this was my version of what I went through.
You know what? A lot of people, I think, need that.
Yeah.
Like the same thing. You have to do that in order to find yourself or start to love yourself again. So I think a lot of people feel what you're feeling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't think it even relates to necessarily, it doesn't have to just be a boyfriend or an ex. It could be a job that's toxic for you, a friendship that's not good for you, anything in your life that's bringing you down. I feel like it all relates.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love, and here comes old Uncle Elvis to add on.
Okay.
And sometimes it isn't always. Let us analyze you and your song. It isn't
Not
always,
here, guys.
It isn't always about something that was bad for you. It was just something it was time to move on from.
100%.
And so, amen. Love it. Now, see, this is the thing. Lose You to Love Me is getting all the clickbait. It's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Look at Her Now, to me, is fabulous.
Thank you.
This is a song, in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, about someone who's out there doing it, living, loving, losing, whatever. And then all of a sudden, kaboom, she figured it out. It's time to live her life. Look at her go. Like, go. It's a very empowering song.
Thank you.
All right, you can go now.
I'm like, thanks. That was nice.
Okay, well, so in the scheme of things, we haven't heard new music from you in
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, when it comes to a song like Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now, are those from 4 years ago, Selena Gomez, or from, like, how old are these songs in the spectrum of your life?
This was February.
Which one?
Lose You to Love Me.
Wow, that's recent.
And then the other song, I want to say June.
These are both very recent songs.
Yeah.
So that sort of tells me that your life, if I'm making assumptions, is somewhere in this period. No?
I think that this was the best part. If I released these songs any earlier, I don't think that I actually know I couldn't have been able to handle that. So it's actually kind of the arc of where I started and then to where I am now. And I wanted this to be the first that I released for that reason. I wanted it to be a little combination where I'm telling the story and I'm proud of it and it's some of the best stuff I've ever done. And then into my other songs, which the records are so fun and amazing and different and cool. And I just never thought that it would be all of this. I never thought that Lose You to Love Me would have this success. I would never have imagined any of the music that I'm playing to just see if producers want to do something. It's an amazing feeling.
Now, while you were taking a break for 4 years, I'm sure you did some other writing. Are there any songs that you wrote at that point that you were just like, you know what, this is not me anymore, and this is never going to see the light of day?
Yes.
Put it in the cat box.
Yeah.
Cover it up.
Yeah, I have
Clumping formula.
I mean, we did probably, I want to say 26 songs total.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just kind of sprinkled them throughout the years.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about all the great artists that sit in this chair and talk about the songs they've written and why they wrote them? We have found the songs that resonate the most with fans, new fans, people who've never heard your music, are the ones that they go, oh my God, that's sound advice. I mean, that's really great, something to listen to. I love what they're telling me here because I'm going to apply that to my own life.
Right.
And I think both of these songs are great examples. When I heard Look at Her Now, and I know I hate comparing artist songs to other artist songs. I remember when Firework by Katy Perry came out, it was like, baby, you're a firework, go.
Yeah,
and I
that
think
was
this
so
is
cool.
and I remember how like nipple hurting that was a great song that says, hey, believe in yourself and just go.
Right.
And you're celebrating yourself in both of these songs.
I am.
think that's great.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Oz was here earlier. And there's a weird controversy going on between some of your fans and Dr. Oz. Have you heard this story?
Wait, how? Why?
No. I want you to clear this up. No. It's a good thing.
Okay,
We're going to
okay.
clear. He was at a concert of yours, and you started your performance, and he put some earplugs in because it's loud.
It's loud. Yeah.
Well, some fans thought that, he doesn't like Selena Gomez. He's cutting her off.
Oh my Lanta.
Okay.
So please explain to people.
My goodness.
Let's put an end to it. There's no problem there.
No. And please don't be mad.
Let's preserve our hearing.
Oh my goodness.
He wouldn't even be at the concert if he didn't like her.
I'm so grateful for how passionate and amazing my fans have been. It's overwhelming, and I don't want to sound cliche when I say that, but I have insane fans that are just my ride or dies, and there's nothing that'll ever compare to that connection. But they kind of go off.
Like, Are there moments you have ever had to step in and be like, all right, guys, enough?
1,000%.
Do you do it?
Of course I do. It's just because that's not how I operate, and that's not what I'd want, it to be. But
I'm sure they love hearing from you, whether they're being scolded or
they
not.
are not. I would never. I just ask kindly if you're speaking on behalf of me to not be negative.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, so Froggy, who's in our Florida studios, he's on the camera over there. You saw a text that just flew by?
I did,
yeah.
I'm
Headphones for this. Sorry, but maybe your little volume control down there. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you see fly by?
Dawn texted in from Fernandina Beach right outside of Jackson. She said, please tell Selena Gomez, thank you from me. My husband of 12 years recently left me for his girlfriend of 3 years, who was also my best friend.
Oh.
Selena's song, Lose You to Love Me, has been my inspiration. Right now, I'm loving a whole lot of me.
That's really beautiful. What she said, I hate that. I'm so sorry.
The song has moved her, and it's helped give her strength, which I'm sure when you wrote it, that wasn't where you were going. It was about you, but it's also helping other people become more of themselves.
We should get this guy's Instagram name and let your fans get a hold of him. Bring it full circle.
That I will allow. That I will allow. What's her name?
Dawn.
Dawn. I'm so sorry that you went through that, and I send you nothing but love, and thank you for listening to the song. And I believe that if any man would do that to you, it's not your person, and you're going to find someone even better.
There you go.
Yep.
Hey, 4 years out, and now you're back.
Yes.
Working again. Yeah. Was there something, Selena, that said time to get back to work? How does that work in your life, in your career?
Luckily, I have a great team because I think I was giving everyone a headache, honestly, because we would change release dates, and I had another single that was going to be lined up, and then I just felt like this would be a good start. So it was actually just my call, and I really appreciated that support. And not a lot of labels would be kind enough to say, when you're ready, you can do this, and not really push anything. So yes, I was in the right place, and I just sat down with everyone and I said, I'm ready, and here's what we're going to do. And I talked about all of this, meaning releasing 2 songs and then going into the album. It's so cool to see it happen.
And I loved how you did that. Here comes one song, and then 24 hours later, kaboom, another one. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. And then the next day, I was needing another one. I didn't get one. I was like, okay, let's digest what we have.
I was so excited, though. I wanted to. I was like, now release another one.
Isn't that funny? I must assume that when you release a song, like when you release Lose You to Love Me, and you see the flood of love coming in for that song, and then the next day you release Look at Her Now, flood, it's almost like a dopamine high. Yeah. You're like, why don't we release another one? They're like, calm down, Selena.
No. They weren't about to have that.
They weren't. But, if you weren't guided by companies and
it would all be out. I would just do it.
You people are always in the way of fun. Fun suckers.
What?
They're sucking your fun. Next time, just release songs and don't listen to them. It's okay.
Oh, gosh.
It's true. I don't know, but with being back and releasing, there's work.
Yes.
Maybe a tour.
We haven't actually had the full conversation yet. It's something that I really, really, really care about, because it's the only real moment I can look at people and it's just thank them and enjoy what I've done with them and feel safe, because I always feel safe. But I don't know, because it was really hard on me.
Right.
It's a lot of isolation and a lot of work, but that's not what bothered me. I think it was more internal. I just don't know if I had the strength to get through that before. So I'm not quite sure, but I know that it's very important to me. So I'll figure that out.
I think it was just a few days ago, Louis Tomlinson was sitting in this chair, and he was talking about how he cannot wait to be back on tour.
Yeah.
His life is at a place where he needs that right now. he knows how grueling it is because when he was out on the road with One Direction, it's not easy.
Right.
None of us will ever understand what that's like.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a life going on at the same time you have a schedule where you have to be in a different city every night. At the same time, you're dealing with your own demons, your own positives, and I can't imagine what it's like looking at a calendar knowing I have 40 more dates and I really just want to go to the ocean and swim. Sorry, you can't. And it's got to be grueling. But to see him at that place in his life, Selena, he was like, wow, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to get out. And,
I love that.
But it's interesting how every artist, every single human being listening to the show has that different journey they're on and what they need in their life, what they don't need in their life.
Right.
Maybe a tour just isn't right yet, you know?
We don't know. I understand. And I find that for some reason, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, I feel like guys definitely have like a better, how do I say it? Just like a better experience, you know? I think that they get to have their friends in their band and it's so fun. Everyone's different. I know lots of people that love tour. Right. But I find that like guys just love it because they have their buddies, they have their team. I'm just like emotional, so I'll just cry in a corner. Okay. I'm like, I miss my Nana.
Okay, question. Okay, so what if you just did 3 nights? What if you did 4 nights around the world? And that's
I mean,
all
do you
did?
want to go in and meet with my team? You can ask.
Where's Nana?
I know, Nana.
Nana's about to get a horrible video sent to her.
No, don't send that to Nana.
She would laugh. She's got a great sense of humor.
So what is wrong with just deciding not to go on tour? And just putting out an album and promoting it, and that's it. What's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it is something that is important, and I want to be able to share that with my fans. I want to do it.
Right.
But
it's not
just
the fans.
Needing.
It's the grueling part. It's like the travel, the being isolated. Right. I get that.
Can you take time in between, like say, okay, I'll do a week or 2 straight, and then I need a week off? Can you schedule it like that?
No, I can, but it would cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't like putting people through that, you know, as far as crew and everyone. So, no, I'd have to do it. I would have to just go through it.
Well, so that means when we do see you doing it, we know that you made the decision. It was time.
Right.
That's awesome. That's good. So you'll send us a little private message that way. Well, anyway,
sure.
When I first heard Lose You to Love Me, I mean, it hit a lot of people. I'll just speak on my own here. It hit me in just a fantastic way. We have this thing on our show where we're always trying to tell people you really can't succeed in life until you're succeeding with yourself. You know what? And to be in a relationship with a person. I
don't know if I agree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't succeed in life without being successful with yourself?
I think but see, here's the word that throws people off and puts pressure on them is successful.
Okay.
You know?
I could change the word out then.
No. I'm just saying I always have this thing where it's all 100% about making sure you're in a good place. Right. But I've noticed the pressure for younger girls and people I know that are going through transition in their life. And, you know, I think that, I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm trying to like get into this whole thing.
I get what you're saying.
I hear where you're going with it. And
of course, being 100% in love with yourself is so important. And I think that being kind to yourself is also important. So that's all.
I think the definition of success is what's really important. And I think that success can come in all kinds of forms.
Totally.
Like being happy with yourself, not necessarily being professionally successful.
And I could have used the word happiness or whatever.
Yeah.
But there is a caveat to this all. And that is, which is one of the most overused lines of today, which is the most important. And it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And just because you're not okay doesn't mean you don't like yourself. You can actually love yourself by just recognizing that I'm not okay right now, but I'm going to work on being okay. That's loving yourself.
Yeah. And it's very hard. I mean, I think I was my biggest, self-sabotaging was all I did for a long time. And so I know that feeling of when you're sad, it's sad. And I've gone through lots of therapy. I've worked with a lot of people and it's incredible. But one day my friend looked at me and it was so simple. And she's just like, it's not a bad thing that you're crying. And I was like, well, it's a sad subject that I'm crying about. And she's like, yeah, but this is actually where it starts. You actually should be happy that it's just coming out and maybe view it that way. And it really helped me in a weird way because I needed to do that.
I'm going to ask you a question, but this is a question for everyone listening. When's the last time you cried because you were overjoyed? And you don't have to answer. It's just a thought.
I think it was a few days ago.
The best feeling ever, right?
Yeah.
It's a release that and when it's happening, you have to catch it and go, God, you really deserve this moment right now. Whatever it was.
I don't know. It was a few days ago at my house. I honestly couldn't believe that all of this was happening.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You need more moments. We all need more moments like that. Anthony Ramos, are you familiar with him?
No,
He started out in Hamilton, and he's been working. He was in Lady Gaga. He's with Lady Gaga in *Star Is Born*.
Yeah.
He now has just released an album, and he's just really fantastic. He's born and raised here in New York City. He was here last week.
I love
his
that.
new album is amazing. And as we were interviewing him, talking about how success was kind of creeping up on him, he just froze right here on this microphone. He couldn't speak, and he started to cry. And I asked him, I said, are you crying right now? And he went, yeah. I said, talk about it. And he started talking about how he's just really recognizing all these fantastic things that are going on in his life. And it reminds all of us, you have to stop down and take stock in these things because it helps you work on the other things.
That's so sweet.
Anthony Ramos, listen to his
I
album.
100%.
Oh, the album's
I saw
insane.
Hamilton. I wonder if he was...
Yeah.
He played the double part with the guy with the wig and
He was in the original cast.
Yeah, no, he's...
Philip and then the French guy.
Totally. Yes, I saw it when it was out. I loved his character.
His album just came out, and I've listened to it 20 times.
Insane.
Oh, I
It's
can't
so
wait.
good.
That's awesome.
And it tells a story from start to finish.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah.
I love
so
Selena
cool.
Gomez is on, and we're talking about Anthony Ramos' album.
We're promoting it.
Well, I love
I
that.
hope he's going to pay us. a
Even
little bit.
Selena wants you to go out and download Anthony's album. Well, anyway, it's just happiness. You deserve we all deserve happiness, and sometimes you got to fight to get it.
Right.
But who was it that sat here and told us every day positivity and happiness? It's like you got to wake up and you got to put it on like makeup. Mm-hmm. You got to apply it every day.
I love that. That's amazing.
Was it Lizzo? It might have been Lizzo.
Someone. I don't know. Anyway, look.
I love her.
Lose You to Love Me. Incredible. I love Look at Her Now. And I can't wait to hear more from this album that will be out when?
Next year.
Next year? That's 365 days.
No.
I'm going to throw a dart. Just hit a day.
No.
Early, middle, late?
Early.
Okay, good. Well, perfect. The video for Lose You to Love Me filmed entirely on iPhone 11 Pro, which I can't even take a picture of Meatloaf and have it be.
It's wild. It's wild. It was such a cool experience to try it and actually see how it works.
Yeah.
I remember we did the first take and everyone was kind of stressed out because how are you going to do that? We have this whole rig and then tiny phone and got to make sure it's charged while it's doing it and all this stuff with lighting. But I remember seeing the first take and I was completely blown away of the quality. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
And Apple was, they were so great. They were just amazing. They were there on set and they were excited that we got to be a part of that and to do both of the videos that are actually different. So you can kind of see all the things that the iPhone has and what it does. And
I've got to get me an 11.
it's wild. They taped an iPhone on the ground and I would just walk over it or I'd sing to it and it has this incredible angle where if you put another iPhone down, it's not going to have the same effect where it was all wide and you can actually see just taping it on the floor. Like, how insane is that?
Wow.
That video I showed you when you first got here, I wonder if that was done on an 11.
I have never. You need to.
It's definitely a wide angle.
That was
You
done
need
on
to put that out of your head.
That was done on an Apple 6.5, I think. Anyway, we don't need to explain that. Selena, she's here. Lose You to Love Me. Gotta play it. Thank you for coming in.
Of course.
And I
It's
hope
good
you
to
have a great
see you
day.
guys. It's been a long time.
Have a beautiful day and happy Halloween.
Thank you.